happy-go-lucky then and happy-go-lucky now. That's Apeksha for you. She's now a beautiful young doctor, come counselor, come wife, come mother. Oh my God, she has so many roles to play. So we are going to hear all of Apeksha's stories in a while. And thank you very much for watching Candid View at Lux Lounge, and welcome to yet another episode where I take you back to my school, which has produced so many wonderful young women. So, Dr.
Very.
Apeksha, welcome to Candid View at Lux Lounge.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It's a
Thank-
privilege to be on this show.
And thank you for giving your time amongst your busy schedule and in between seeing your patients and everything.
It's a pleasure to be with you.
So tell me, how have you been after school? So how has life treated you after that?
I'm very thankful. Life has been very good. Of course, there were roller coasters, but I think I'm happy with life.
That's wonderful. And tell me, how did you choose the profession that you did? And what are you doing currently?
See, basically, my family doctor was a homeopath, so he suggested my mother that, okay, this is the upcoming field, so you should, ask her to do that. And that's how I decided to become a homeopathy doctor. Okay. And yes, but when we started, that was in 1998. That time it was not so much flourished. So it took some time to settle in. And that now I'm practicing 17 years. Definitely now it's paying up.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, hard work pays a little later, And how different is this?
Allopathy and homeopathy, you mean to say?
Yeah. Like what is the basic difference between?
See, primarily, we have to study allopathy also. So we are doing anatomy, physiology, and medicine, everything. Along with that, we are doing our subjects like organon, wherein the philosophy we are understanding, and our medicine is different, materia medica, basically. Totally different. Our homeopathy medicines, it's 3,000 plus medicine. Now, if you have fever, you will take a crocin or a dolo. But for me, for a fever, I'll have to ask you 30 plus questions to understand whether you're thirsty, thirstless, you're sweating. So, the analysis of the case is utmost important in homeopathy. It's definitely intricate.
The COVID challenge 2020, how have you been handling that?
I am treating patients with COVID history also, and they're being better with, home quarantine. So yeah, it's doing fine. Also, I am into counseling. So, I get calls from patients for, psychological help, wherein most of them have anxiety issues, depression, staying at home, in a lockdown, especially in Pune, wherein 15 days people are stuck at home. And sometimes being with your people at home itself is difficult to deal with.
Nobody wants to be locked down. They are happy to stay at home on a weekend and chill with Netflix, but not that after being told that stay at home.
Very true, very true. It's very difficult. It's very challenging. And with families, with youngsters, it's even more difficult. They have their own challenges, the teens basically. So I get calls from all the ages, right? Teenagers to 70 plus, because, with a geriatric age, they are not getting along with their, daughter-in-law, son-in-law. So, it's all messed up right now, mentally and emotionally for people.
You must be having you have to be totally not emotional, right? To give all this counseling, because sometimes you can get affected by their issues also.
You can't carry it home. You can't, see, basically when I do counseling, I give them options, not opinions, what I think of the situation. So, that is how we need to deal when we are, dealing psychological patients. Because if you get involved with them, your personal life gets distressed.
Exactly, yeah,
but I think somewhere you learn from these patients, like, someone is going through something, it becomes a learning point for you. You start analyzing your life, and your life becomes more easier, to deal with when you understand these problems exist. So yes, you need to be, you need to have two different lives altogether. You can't carry this home.
You need to be I think, close out your emotional side and open up the practical, logical side. So that's very good.
Yeah, see, basic funda of life is, it's very simple. We complicate with, the requirements, desires, expectations. So first and foremost, I don't expect things from anybody, neither my husband nor my kids, no one. So, you're happy because if something comes to you, it's a surprise. So you're happy. Right. So, and you don't do anything beyond your capacities, because then you are endangering your own, self. So it's better to, take life as it comes.
So it's so nice. So I'm really happy to see that you're facing this COVID challenge and the 2020, the challenging year of everyone's lifetime, I think, with a smile. So that's the way to go.
Yes.
So, but what has been the biggest challenge of your life? Like, since you've been practicing these 17 years, something would have really challenged you also, right?
Sometimes, when I'm dealing with patients with cancer, that time it's a little difficult because, I know what the outcome is going to be. Somewhere I get, carried away, wherein I know the time span, the lifespan. And then when I'm talking to these patients, somehow I have to, rise in false hopes for them. So wherein, that becomes a little difficult for me to accept in, wherein sometimes you feel, you are going to fail. So that failure hurts you because you cannot, make that person live for a longer time. So yes, that is a little painful.
I know. Sorry about that. Because you do a lot of counseling. Who do you think is really, like, I would say, not tough to handle, but is a little difficult to convince and counsel? The younger ones or the older ones? Older people.
I think it's the older people because they have their fixed ideas and they have grown. They have seen. They think they have seen lot of the world, and things can't change. So when you have fixed ideas, it's a little difficult to mold those. But even if with that, if you give options and make them understand to analyze things, it becomes easier for them to understand. Because I think as we grow old, we start thinking this has to be this way. That fixation starts coming in. So to change is the inevitable thing what you need to accept. That is what I have to convince them, and then it becomes a little easier to handle these patients. But yes, older ones are definitely difficult.
Amongst all this, you have been doing another very tough job, I know that, and that is getting school friends together. How did you start that? Like, how did you get into that?
See, basically, I think, when we talk to our school friends, we forget all our worries, and there you are yourself. You're not being judged. You're not being criticized. And even if that criticism, it is positive, so you feel happy there and you feel connected. 10, 12 years we had been together, So definitely it brings back those fresh memories and you're so happy there. There I can, talking like Aila Gaila language and I can be, what I am. So I want all to enjoy that.
That's all. Going back to our school days. So you tell me, which is one memory from school which has actually stuck with you?
School, I mean, once I was crying and I was depressed. I don't know why. I don't even remember that. But Neeta Pavitran, she came in the lunch break. I was lying down, with my head down in the class. And she got a junior girl and, she used to make that noise of Donald Duck. This is so stuck with me. I was, I think, in class 8 or 9. And, that feeling to get a friend out of, distress was so fine. She did it so well. And I still like her for that, wherein, I mean, I was not a very close friend of hers, but she just wanted to, make me happy. Correct. So, that triggered me and that is still with me, wherein, if I can make somebody smile, it's worth it. So it's, etched in my heart.
Oh, that's amazing. So you must be wondering what was that for? Must be some silly reason, Apeksha. I'm sure about it. What was that?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe, maybe I was not able to do geometry well. I was really pathetic, poor at geometry. So maybe, at that time it was only studies. Yeah. What else, or maybe somebody must have thought with me.
It's very nice to see you come out and have done such a great job, and you're such a successful practitioner in Pune as well. And you also have busy family to maintain, right? Because you have 2 small kids.
Yeah. Yeah. 2 firebrands. I have to take care of them, keep them,
online school and everything.
Yeah. So that's why, morning is all for my kids, So, till 12 o'clock I'm with them. And then after post 12, then my clinic starts. So, me and my husband, we practice in a way wherein if I'm in the clinic, he's taking care of them. That's how we are playing hands-on parents right now, Earlier, now I understand the luxury of having maids a lot. You never realize there's so much of work at home, actually.
The most missed person in the lockdown was the maid only.
Actually.
And also, you must be missing all those school reunions that you guys had attended, isn't it? Which we've never.
Yes. I think from 2013, every May we make it a point because in May, everybody has off. All the girls come back to Pune to their maternal houses. So every year we plan it. This year, actually, we were planning to go to Goa. But, COVID had some other plans for us.
You've been balancing everything very beautifully. That's very nice. Peksha, what is one of the most memorable travel that you have done in all these years?
We traveled to US this year itself, in the month of February, celebrating my father-in-law's 75th birthday.
Okay.
So we were over a fortnight there. So, seeing Disneyland and then Vegas, everything.
Okay.
So it was a very nice fun trip.
And
with
then
kids, especially we had planned for them.
And you managed to do it in the correct time, I think. If it was
February. Yeah, but as soon as we landed back in India on 26th of February. So, then 10 days of quarantine, self-quarantine we did, because since we were traveling and, the flights, they were waiting at London, Dubai. So we did a 10 days quarantine, almost 12 days quarantine. And then we started off. But then the government decided that we quarantine ourselves, then they started with the lockdown. So, but I'm practicing since March, I think March 26th, we resumed our work again.
But tell me now, everything is happening over the phone, or people actually come and visit you?
No, there is both. I mean, online consultation plus physical consultation. So both, we follow the sanitation method, wherein we are sanitizing the rooms, the clinics. The patients are compulsory have to use their, mask. And if they're using gloves, they have to compulsory use them. We are in, mask, gloves, and the kits, so that, we are not getting exposed to any of the patients that way, plus online consultations.
Yeah. You yourself have to first get sanitized before you meet your kids, isn't it?
Yes. I mean, almost daily I'm having head bath, that's how some days I keep only for online consultations, wherein I'm at home and I don't have to, do all this, it's like, in a day, sometimes I have to have bath twice, from head to toe, because they're too tiny and I don't want them to be getting exposed to, any of the infections. So
plus your husband's also a doctor, right?
Yeah.
So all of you have to take care of each other.
Yeah.
So is it good that you both are doctors, both understand the profession very well, and they know each other's things, or how does it work?
See, basically we understand. So, because he's a doctor, he understands, but sometimes it becomes boring because you have nothing else to discuss. See, if you're from different fields, if I've married a software engineer, he will talk about, his office work and some other gossips. So we are in the same, under the same roof. So no gossips, it's the same roof. So sometimes it's
gossip can be found from everywhere else, but the good part is the best part, that is the understanding. See, he understands your profession. Yeah. That's very important.
Yes. And we each other, no, that way. So, so it's very supportive that. So definitely it's better, it's more of like a blessing.
Which is the best way you guys relax at home.
We don't take day offs on the same day. So that's the best way we taken off.
Okay. So but then there has some time where you'll take off, right? This must be like some holiday or something you'll go, right?
Yeah. So in a year we plan in. So we make it a point that every year we have decided to, celebrate in different countries. So that's the break we take in together.
Okay, that's nice. So tell me, if you have to time travel, would you go backwards or would you go forward?
I think forward. I want to see what my girls are going to be, what our life is going to be.
Okay, yeah, that's nice. What age do you want to see your daughters in? As teens or as adults?
As teens, like, how we have traveled, or maybe I traveled my parents, what I want to do in life, what I want to wear. Because my daughters are strong-headed right now. So if I want them to wear a frock and they want to wear a skirt or a short, they will do that. So I wonder how they're going to be during their teens. After, in adulthood, you already, modify yourself somehow. So, the teens is definitely going to be a little challenging work for me, I think. So, that is time what I want to see with it.
If whenever the lockdown or whatever, the quarantine finishes and you get to go out and eat, what is the first place you would run and go and eat something in Pune?
I go to Pizza Hut and eat lots of pizzas.
So if whenever you get a chance to travel out, what is the first place you want to go and visit?
First place, I think I have not yet decided, because, the gloom is so much, it's very difficult to clear this gloom and think beyond it. But I think Lonavala, maybe, if the monsoons still continue, Lonavala is the best place to visit, closer to Pune.
So I can see my school friend still there, and who has turned into a successful professional whom we are all very proud of. So thank you very much for coming on to this and chatting with me. And I want you to give, because you're going to say it's going to be very positive, a positive message to my friends who are watching us.
take life as it comes, and I believe there is a time for everything. So जैसे बोलते हैं अपना time भी आएगा, तो wait for your time, don't give up, and just put in your hard work. Positive things and positive vibes will flow through, and you will be successful in life and happy.
I know. Happiness is the key. So thank you so
Yes.
much. And definitely your positive talk has, I'm sure it's going to light up a few more lives than ours as well. So thank you so much for your time, Apeksha. Really, thanks a lot.
Thanks, Lux.
Thanks.
Happy
Bye.
to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too.
Bye.
Keep smiling. Bye.